Welcome back to We Are Live. We're at the Midcoast Studio, live in St. Louis, Missouri. We're in Grand Center. We're joined by the great Sam Lyons in studio. Hello. Comedian, just did Yours, Mine, and Ours at Heavy Anchor last night.
That's right.
How are you, Sam?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm stasherific.
I'm so sick of that mustache. I thought that was going to be gone.
Yeah, he showed up to karaoke last night after Southtown, and I
don't think you have room to talk, Sam.
Fuck you.
Oh, wow. There it is. Good morning, everybody. A dude with short shorts, and they had to be a rugby team, like legitimately.
Oh, yeah, they were
They
weird.
walked, it was weird. Like
Yeah,
these
it was
four
weird.
dudes.
They started dancing.
3 of them taller than me, definitely like jacked. Like they big dudes in short shorts came up and said something about Sam's mustache on stage.
Did they?
No, they didn't. You didn't hear them. But
I
I stood up for you. I go, his stash is fine. And the guy was like, no, yours is good, dude.
Oh, okay.
Didn't
Yeah.
somebody ask if they could touch your hair, too?
Well, that's,
not last night specifically, but
Oh.
in general, yeah, that happens.
it happened.
I thought that happened last night when you were right before you started singing.
No, a couple weeks ago, I got up to do a song in my Kaepernick jersey, and
yikes.
this Joe Dirt look, like in every sense of the word, from his just staring at me from his table. Are you gonna take a knee, Kaepernick? I was like, no, dude, they didn't have the anthem in the catalog.
Nice. You had it queued up.
They didn't have I Write Sin.
Could you have,
That's the
Not gonna
only
lie,
thing.
I don't miss that at all.
You don't miss that about the.
That's one thing
the
about
Midwest?
St. Louis I do not miss.
Tommy's here.
should,
Travis is in
God
New
bless
York.
the USA or something like that?
Yeah, that'd be good. He's like, you know what? You're
Yeah,
a
that
good
would
one,
be-
huh?
I bet you all, like you couldn't date my daughter, but you could like take her to prom if her boyfriend was at basic training. That would be all right. That'd be all right.
Sam spent some time in the South. We'll let him take that
That's
path if he chooses.
absolutely brilliant.
Why am I alive?
If you're just tuning in, hit share, you jerks. Thank you for doing that as well. And I haven't said it today, but I want to say thanks to our stream queen, the producer, Chris Gardner, for all the work he's putting in. We do have some breaking news. I teased that earlier. I tweeted something out to, we'll just say, a soon-to-be friend of the show. He's been my Twitter friend for years, but we got a quick response, and I thought it was worth noting. Gardner, do we have the tweets? So I tweeted this out. I said, Dag, do you like my new stash? To the white whale of We Are Live. David Allen Grier's never appeared, but he does communicate with me through Twitter for the last decade. 3-second response, Travis. You haven't seen the tweet?
I have not.
Prediction. What does he say?
Man, I don't know. I forget that you communicate with David Allen Grier.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Such a weird
It is
flex.
because he is
Always responds
a
for a
comedic
decade.
legend, and I haven't met an individual in comedy that doesn't speak the high praises of David Allen Grier, so I don't know. What did he say?
Yeah.
Well, now, do we think he's going to be for it, against it? How's he going to go?
I was very against it.
Very against it. I do want to say, have we checked his Twitter and made sure he doesn't just reply to everybody that tags him and stuff?
Okay, no. Prediction, he justifies that mustache as a need for reparations.
Oh, okay. Good.
That's
good
fair.
work.
That's fair.
Okay, I like
All right,
that.
so we'll throw to the
What is
Twitter.
it?
Do better, sir.
That, of course, is the great David Allen Grier. He took a role this season on the hit show Queen Sugar on OWN Network, of course, produced and created by the great Ava DuVernay, and he looks amazing in that series. A little drama action for the old Dag.
Yeah, and he's a very skilled individual, and he's smart to tweet me back. I get it, man. No, it's him. He's got a giant beard, if you're listening at home, and he's told me to do better. So
You
that's
just said that
You do
like,
need to do better.
his career is going to do better by tweeting at
Oh,
you.
it is. It has too. He's had a rise. The wall bump also goes to Twitter.
Well, wasn't there some controversy a year or so back when, Travis, you did your 28 greatest black comedians of all time, and David Allen Grier wasn't on there, and you took heat from within your community.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
And I accepted that heat, and I screwed up. I
Simple
acknowledge that
oversight.
I screwed that up.
I appreciate that.
He served
I
his
think
time.
I was thinking as far as David Allen Grier is just a comedic performer,
Yeah.
and so I was trying to use it within the context of stand-up. But if you are he's again one of those individuals that's so incredibly talented.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he isn't in everyone's show.
He's a
Like he could be
versatile.
on Brooklyn
he's-
Nine-Nine.
literally do
He
anything.
can be on Dear White People. He can be like, he's just such a brilliant talent. I
He's
think
an
David
artist.
Allen Greer should be in everything. So I did
Yeah.
screw that up. That was my fault, and I should have had him in my top 28.
Has anybody seen his stand up live?
Mm-mm.
I
I
have.
haven't seen recent stand-up of his in years.
Yeah.
The last
No,
stand-up
live,
in Africa, I
live.
think he did something on Comedy Central a few years ago that I remember seeing, and it was classic David Allen Greer.
I saw him at a club in Kansas City, and that was the night whenever I went alone, and I was sat with I was one of 3 white people in the crowd, and I was sat with a very lovely black couple on a very nice date, and I apologized 70 times for taking up 3/4 of the very tiny table that we were given to sit at.
One
And
of the nights you went alone.
I sat kind of like this, and I've never laughed so hard. He's still top 3 I've seen live, and
Oh wow!
yeah, it was without being hokey. You're talking about talent. He has a bit where he sings to somebody in the crowd. You're just like, am I at a Broadway show? Which he's literally done Broadway, but it's he's top 3 I've ever seen, and I've seen
Who for
everybody.
you guys? What do you remember the comedian and the bit? And you don't have to go through the actual bit, but do you remember the topic of the bit of a comedian that just made you go? And I guess for Sam and Tommy, that convinced you that I have to do stand up, or this is what I want to do. Do you guys recall that particular moment or the bit or the comedian?
Well, do you mean live or something we listened to?
Live, you've
Because
seen
I
on
have
television,
both.
but is there a particular bit from a comedian that you went and you go, that's brilliant, I want to do something like that?
Recorded was John Mulaney's Salt and Pepper Diner.
God damn, that's so good.
And then and then the last time Nate Bargatze was in
Oh
town,
my God!
he's got this joke. He goes, he's talking about Starbucks, and he asks for whipped cream on something. They go, they can't put whipped cream in it because I guess that's illegal. And it was just so funny. I was like, oh, I got to get to that level. That's so good.
If you've
not seen Bargatze,
it's paying off
oh boy.
in the new series he got. He's doing theaters now instead of club. It's that he is. He's another level.
There's on both of his albums. There's a same joke, and the title that he does on his second album from the first one is called "I Know This Is From Have You Ever Been Yelled At by a Clown," which is his first album.
I hope that Nate, because I see the success he's having, especially with.
Remember when we
not
had him
just-
in?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope that he uses that hockey story I told him in some way. If that can be, because he was laughing hard at that story, which basically was at a Blues game and people were making fun of a goaltender,
Yes.
Chris Mason.
Tell the story.
And they were juvenile, sophomoric jokes like, Mason, you got no dick. Yeah, you this and that.
Yeah, love that one.
Whatever.
Bet you're gonna heal.
This is
This
when
is
the
my favorite
Blues
joke.
Blues
is
were
so good.
terrible. And so you could sit wherever you want. So we all gathered behind that. It was empty. And then my friend decides to join in and just goes, it's Chris Mason, the goaltender. Hey, Mason, you got nothing below the Mason-Dixon line. And no one laughed. And then off in the distance, with an echo, you hear, too smart. The Blues just won the Stanley Cup. I watched that happen. That's still my favorite moment at a hockey game ever. Someone yelled at a Blues game. A Blueser yelled, too smart. And Nate liked that story. I hope that gets in
that's
somehow.
good.
It was. I apologize
Heckled by a
because
heckler.
because he had so much fun on that show. It allowed me to have a couple cocktails with him. It got washed away for sure. For sure. It was.
What was it for you, Sam? I'm curious to hear from Sam as far as
I've got two.
who
that
was the
really-
comedian and what was the bit.
So it's 2. Hannibal Buress. When I go to parties, I don't like to do. He said I don't like to party. He's talking about cocaine. He says people say like I want to smoke weed, but if they do coke, they say I want to party. I'm like, nah, man, I don't party like that. When I party, I stand in the corner at the party and I'm texting on my phone. I'm like, yo, this party is whack. And I lean when I text, because when I text, my words come out in italics. That's how we decide like the delivery I want to strive for. And then Tommy Johnigan, I want to say it might be on Stand Up 1. Or it could be on. He talks about. He says, "I didn't know I liked a finger up my ass." until a woman put her finger on my ass. And I was like, what is going on here? Oh, my God. I like that. And then he talks about how now he showers thoroughly. He says, now my showers are 45 minutes because you got to clean it like you're selling it. It's like, and that was the moment I was like, okay, you can be honest on stage. Like, you can just be fully honest and then just let people know that you like a finger. Up the that's
Good stuff. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but Pete Holmes was also a really big one for me, just because he's Pete Holmes, and he's happy.
Pete Holmes, not so much his stand-up, but his like talk show. I remember when he went to the BET Awards, and he was on the red carpet interviewing Schoolboy Q and Rick Ross. And Rick Ross is
That's
there.
a thing.
It's Rick Ross in a velour Gucci tracksuit, no shirt, just the jacket and the pants. Jacket's open. You can see all of Rick Ross. And they're talking about how much they both love the movie Up. And Pete asks if he can come watch it in Rick Ross's home theater, and they can both just watch it with their shirts off. And Rick Ross just turns around and walks away.
I know Chris hates him, so that's why I'm going to share this one. But I think Aziz Ansari's...
I don't hate him. I just thought he wasn't that funny. And then he was just... I was never mad at his success. I said he was a great character on a TV show. His stand-up was incredibly boring and not very good. At the level,
right now.
I could not...
that's what I'm saying.
Jay-Z, it was dumb to me. Whatever. But I never...
loves Rogan.
This is coming from the guy with that mustache.
Well, that's true. First of all, I've never stood up for Joe Rogan's stand-up, and I enjoy some guests he has on his podcast. And your obsession with hating Joe Rogan is getting really weird at this point because Miss Pat's about to come in here and speak praise on him for anything I bring up. So
I listen to Joe Rogan, and I'm on Travis's side. That's how much Travis is right.
No, that's a bad thing if you agree with people.
Yes.
I don't know. I think
Sorry,
Rogan,
Travis. I cut you off. Aziz.
Was there an Aziz bit?
No, Aziz did one of his more famous bits is the one he does when he meets Kanye and he goes to Kanye's house.
Yes.
And Kanye is listening to his own music.
I forgot about that.
I think that's brilliant.
Dope.
I think that the whole setup. I think it was like a good 8-10 minute bit.
That's a long
and
bit,
the entire setup is just brilliant, especially where he places it throughout his show, because it's just incredibly random, and it worked perfectly because he was. I think this was around the early start of Parks and Rec blowing up, so he was becoming famous. So that's what made it funnier.
Yeah.
But no, Joe Rogan's horrible. And I really don't. I just, and I think it's just a poor reflection upon the show when you mention how entertaining he is, because he's not.
Go off.
That's all.
Go on.
I also like Mike
No,
Birbiglia.
and it's not that. It's just
Go off.
Mike Birbiglia.
I think if you gave the same means and resources to a comedian you're going to speak with in less than an hour, like Miss Pat, you gave those same resources that Joe Rogan has and gave it to someone like
sitting
Miss
in
Pat.
front of a camera in 2009.
Come on.
What do you want? The same resources he puts her on.
I have to
All
ask-
he's done is bring her up. Come on.
I have to ask Travis one question here, just real quick, because I liked how you presented this topic. And
but I love it because he doesn't know anything either.
The people we have in studio to discuss it. Great answer, Tommy. Great
Thank
answer,
you.
Sam. I told a nice little story as well. Did you just present this and play the long game here just to start an argument with all of us, just so you can get to this point? Because we were having a good conversation, and then it just sounds like you just want to be a bastard about it and start arguing.
Yeah,
I was like, this is going to be nice.
No, I know how much Chris loves Rogan.
No, in your head, you've developed a character of who I am that loves Joe Rogan and has Joe Rogan from UFC 1
Just so you know,
tattooed on his heart. And I'm
Travis.
buying into it. He's playing checkers. I'm playing chess.
The villain against the villain against Detective Charlie loves Joe Rogan, and that's what I'm hearing. That's what I heard. That's the rumor. The whispers going.
What do you
Does the
got?
character version of Chris also have this mustache?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think life is imitating art at this point. Yeah.
Travis, you do have to give Joe Rogan this. He's definitely going to do the better one-on-one with Miss Pat.
No, that's good.
Ooh,
That's funny.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Is that a reference to the Kyle Pratt show one-on-one?
No, I'm just saying Denman's not a good one-on-one interviewer.
Oh, okay.
It was a slight against him.
Sorry.
Nothing hurts my heart more.
Just once come and step on your joke, Tommy.
Yeah, no problem. That's what you normally do.
Yep.
I hate everyone's shirts, by the way, in the studio. I just realized what I was watching. I hate them. I hate you all.
You have no idea.
Tommy, what kind of material is that?
What? I don't know. What kind is this?
Tommy?
A good time.
Sawdust.
Yeah.
This is. It's way too big on me.
Tommy,
It's like a robe.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
It's like a kimono.
Does that
No, it's you liar.
does that shirt have optional shoulder pads?
Come on.
It does.
So what does that tell you about that shirt?
What does it tell you about that shirt?
That it's a women's shirt.
It is a women's shirt.
Okay, all right.
But we have gone over this before.
She looks like she'd be a good time.
Well, we've gone over this
She
before.
probably eat ass too.
We've gone over this
Old
before.
toss
I
out
don't
the
mind.
Go on.
I don't mind wearing women's shirts. It's fine. Well, like, what's your hang up on it?
This is 50 years of pride. So you're going to come in here and
Yeah.
criticize
Oh, wow.
a man wearing whatever shirt
Yeah.
he feels comfortable
By
in?
the
I'm
way,
actually kind of criticizing a shoulder pad optional shirt more than anything.
by the way, I own this shirt because I went through a phase in my life. I told Gardner this before the show, where
You
I
had
wanted.
no other clothes.
No, well, that too. Where I wanted to dress like Hunter S. Thompson all the time. So this is how I got this shirt.
Yeah.
I went to Goodwill and just started buying
Yeah,
stuff like
you
that.
can't be Hunter S. Thompson. You can't do drugs the way he did.
Trev, I also get all of our shirts now, too. Like, that you just turned me around.
What
I'd be like if
21-year-old goes, I want to dress like Hunter S. Thompson?
No, he was like 18. He's 21
No, I was
now.
17.
He was
That
17.
sentence right there is why you're forever single. I want to dress like Hunter S. Thompson. You're never
What's
getting
wrong with that?
vagina ever again, my friend.
What is wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
What was it?
I was
Who is
17
she?
when I made this decision. I had a girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
She was semi-supportive of it.
and it all worked out.
Supportive adjacent.
Not completely,
She
obviously.
She just was like, not when we're in public together. That was the
That's where
agreement.
it started.
You can wear Star Wars shirts when we're together. That's it. You still keep those.
Nothing says true love like a dress code, honestly.
Travis, what's the worst T-shirt you wore that you can remember from high school? I have one implanted in my head that I'm horrified by. at this point.
It wasn't in high school. It was even worse. I had
2 weeks ago, walking Harlem.
So you remember? So in early part of college, the D's nuts joke
Yep,
were
absolutely.
huge, of course. And so to make a long story short, I forgot I had a court date, and I needed to go to court before they issued a bench warrant. So I'm rushing to the courthouse, and I arrived to the courthouse, and I tried to get a continuance so they would not issue the bench warrant. And the lady in administration goes, well, it doesn't work that way. You're going to have to go in front of the judge right now to avoid the bench warrant. I forgot I had on my shirt that had a giant squirrel on the middle that said, you want these nuts. And so I had to go in front of a judge in a courtroom with a T-shirt that says, you want these nuts.
Oh, my God.
That
how
was
do we
probably the worst T-shirt moment of my entire life.
how do we follow that? That's the worst thing. That is the worst outcome of a T-shirt story ever. Because judges love that. They want that moment to go,
No, well,
son,
the
let me
funny
tell
thing
you,
is
I was gonna let you out, but
Shit.
But the funny thing about, and this is Missouri in a nutshell. The funny thing is that judge would later go on to become a House of Representative in Jeff City, and I ended up working alongside him when I was in Jefferson City. So it was just like completely full circle where I'm just like, oh God, you're the judge I had to sit in front of with the D's nut shirt, and
Well,
now we're
wait.
talking about funding schools in St. Louis.
Did you get the continuance?
I did.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's a great
yeah.
outcome. That's a
That-
great shirt. Do you
Yeah.
still have that
Yeah.
shirt?
It all worked.
Do you still have that shirt?
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't want to wear D's nuts in jail.
All right.
So I'm glad I
Yeah, that would end a.
you had a bad. You guys
Somebody
are a little
take
younger
you
than
up
us.
on that.
Tommy already gave his.
I
Well, you're proud of that moment.
Wait, what? Hold on. What?
What's your dumb shirt you wore
Oh man,
that you're
that's-
embarrassed of? It
I
sounds
don't
like
have-
you've embraced all this.
I have
He
a
embraces
long
his shirts.
line of bad ideas.
Well, think of one after Sam's.
Boy, hold on.
I bought and paid for with my own money a George Bush party tank that I've worn to every music festival for the past 4 years. I'm sorry, Trav. But it's black. It's like just the white shape of his face with a red and white tie, and you know what? It kills at every festival. I've gotten so many free beers. so many illicit substances have been offered to me, refused, of course, but offered to me because I was wearing this shirt. I go to a 2-day festival. I start with the Bush tank, and the next day I wear the dashiki. Nobody knows what's going on.
I'm Sam. Please let me know the next music festival you're going to so I can tag along. Please.
I got you, man. I got you.
Oh, that's amazing. Tommy, you have a quick one?
I did my Hunter S. Thompson phase. I had a Johnny Depp phase. I had a phase where I would only wear suits. That was
You should have kept that one. That's
junior
a good
year
one.
of high school.
His first 6 months doing stand-up, he only wore suits.
That's true. That's also true.
To just say
You should have kept that.
I
say
No,
you
you
should
can't
go
go
back
to
that. Here's
you can't
why.
go to deep bar open mics and wear a suit.
No,
but
you
I
can't
don't
go to
know.
deep bar.
Yeah, he
but
can.
like, and I would wear the suits with and they wouldn't be just like white dress shirts. They'd be like patterned shirts with the black overcoat. But my coat was too big.
Yeah.
That was the problem with it, was the coat was a little too big, so it didn't look right.
You would
Need
show
shoulder
up in
pads?
regular clothes. You'd sign up for the mic, and
Oh
then
my
you would go
God.
change.
That's
into the
true.
suits.
That's also true.
You are always so
Can
true to form.
I'll be very quick because we need to get
I
the
know who I
recasting
am.
call. But I honestly think, Tommy, you should strongly reconsider the suit thing because my good friend, you may have heard of him, Jerry Seinfeld, was
here
saying
we
to
go.
my other
Jesus
good
Christ.
friend, you may have heard of him, Cedric the Entertainer, that he thought comedians should go back to the classic suit look. He said,
I do
he
agree
basically
with
said
that.
along the lines, "Why am I paying to go see someone look just like me?
DC
I
Curry
should
strongly
be better
recommends
looking
it.
than you."
Here's
what?
DC Curry, like he's not a dick
Yeah,
about it.
DC
He
Curry.
strongly recommends it.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly think comedians should dress up more.
Here's my one thing with that is right now I'm not a headliner or a feature, I'm a host. And so I don't want to show up to a club that I'm working a weekend at and dress nicer than the person
It's like wearing a wedding dress
That's
to
fine,
a
but
wedding.
people
Yeah.
will remember you.
yes.
I don't want to
People will
be
remember you.
I don't want to dress better than the headliner.
Well, they can ask you to take the jacket off.
That's true. So that's always
No,
been
they
a
can't. You can't taking my
So,
jacket
like,
off.
They
Fuck
absolutely can and will.
So like when I hosted for Ben
you.
Glebe,
So you're gonna be the guy that takes a guy off the stage because he wore a suit jacket?
They'll
It is
drop your.
serious
They'll cut your.
business.
They'll cut
Yeah.
your. They'll just say you're just not on the show.
That- they'll do
They
that.
do that crap all the time.
that-
It's ridiculous, Travis.
but when I opened for Ben Glebe though,
That's
he
silly.
wore suits, so I got to wear suits.
So
Oh,
excited
okay.
about it. If you want to wear a suit, that's fine. I don't like.
I'll
Oh,
do it
that's
in an
your
indie
thing.
mic.
Own it. Own it. if
I'm
that's your
paying.
thing.
Yeah. But I think people are paying to come see you do your thing on stage. If your thing isn't wearing a suit, you shouldn't have to then incorporate it into who you are. Because if you're not a suit person off stage, trying to become one on stage, I love.
But I
suits.
kind
I
of
wanna be very
am.
clear. I love suits, and that's If you are a suit person, then rock your suits. But this whole whatever Jerry's talking about. Yeah,
Hey man, don't
Jerry.
disrespect
But I
my
also-
friend Jerry.
All right, Lord Seinfeld. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
of the
there you
realm.
go.
Of,
Thank
of
you.
the
Seinfeld.
protector of the
Thank
realm.
you.
Jerry
But
Seinfeld.
I also think that stand-up shows, especially in clubs, they are performances and they are like live theater, and that
Can be.
we need to go back to that type of theater.
No, I think I'm with you on the performances, but the same like music.
The
is a
pageantry
performance.
and-
all
of
of it
it.
is art. It's artistry, and so whatever that artist feels their form comes out, and that's what they should be wearing.
That's
My
fair.
T-shirt, I had a
Oh.
well-hung drywall T-shirt that a guy offered me $100 for at a party, and I was like, "Nah, man, this is a pretty cool shirt. I'm good." They
Did
sell them
you
up in
really?
St. Louis.
You
Swear
could
to God.
such a-
I got
hate you so much.
and
You're
at
so
17 would have a gust of wind would come and I would take my shirt off. So I don't know what was in me that night that didn't allow
Power
me to
move. You
walk.
just- you
to walk
alphaed the
around.
hell out of
I
him.
did, yeah. And he was one of those 27-year-olds that would come to high school parties too. He's like, "Well, I hang,
Tag me.
I
Oh.
hang drywall for a living." I was
So
like,
he was
I
a
got big-
pedophile, is what he was.
right.
I hang drywall for a living.
Yeah, that was his reasoning. He's like, "I'll give you $100 because I need that shirt because I hang drywall." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I got it for another reason, dude."
That's
Which
the
is
same
so
guy that told me to
stupid.
take a knee at
He
karaoke.
did.
That was
He
it.
shows back
Oh my
up.
God.
It's full circle. Speaking of full circle, we've got St. Louis Counseling Services as a sponsor. They do a podcast here. It's out every week. Mental Health Matters. Download it wherever you get your podcasts. St. Louis Counseling, improving lives in the St. Louis area since 1955. Be sure to drop them a line. It's very easy to find them online, stlouiscounseling.org. You can listen to podcasts there, but you can also look into their services. Businesses, schools, any income, any type of person, they're here for you. That's right. Call them today if you're looking for counseling services for yourself, friends, or business. Guys, we've got recasting call to do. That's why Sam's here. It's not because we like him. It's not because we appreciate him.
Good.
He comes in for this one segment, and it's the bane of my existence.
I'll be at Apotheosis Comics tomorrow at 8 o'clock because I know Dimon doesn't like me plugging my shows.
Oh, yeah. I hate that. You're going to come here. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, good fist bump, Tommy.
Yeah, that was. Good job. Apotheosis Comics
I
tomorrow night.
initiated it.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, come do Tower Grove Pride and then hang out with us for some comedy.
Perfect.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
show as well. I've had a lot of fun attending Tom's show over there. Recasting call. Gardner, what do we have on deck?
Today, we are recasting The Office.
Never heard of it.
Whoa!
Nice.
Production.
And we're going to pull from two shows.
What are those shows?
Okay.
The Sopranos and The Wire. You're recasting
I like that.
The Office with The Sopranos and The Wire.
This is a tough one.
Have at it, boys.
I was telling Dimon before we got in here, this was like probably the most difficult one we've done because The Office already has so many uniquely complex characters, and Sopranos and The Wire both also have that.
Yeah.
So it's not really a matter of who identifies most with who. It's just like who you like. Like I just had to look at The Wire and The Office and Sopranos and say, oh, which one of these people would work at Dunder Mifflin, and kind of work from there.
All right, how do you want to start? Travis.
Let's start. Should we start with the top of the cast and work our way down, or work from the bottom part
Start
of
with
the
the
cast and
top.
work our way up?
Start
with the
From
top.
the top, so we're going straight up with Steve Carell.
Yeah.
Yep. Who you got?
You have to go, man, Steve Carell, and your options are from Sopranos and
The
or
Wire.
The Wire. I'm gonna have to. I need a second on this one. I didn't know we were gonna go the Carell out the gate, so I'm gonna give one to Sam.
All right.
Give one to Sam.
So Michael Scott is he's kind of just an ass. He's stumbled into this position of power as regional manager of Dunder Mifflin.
Earned his way through a great sales record, you mean?
Sure, yeah, okay, he earned his way through a great sales record, but then he became manager. He kind of just threw that out the window. How about that? Is that better? He was just like, all right, I'm here, fuck it. And now he's just doing whatever. He should have been fired so many times, but somehow he's always hanging on by the seat of the pants. Kind of like a great member of the Baltimore City Police Department, the Honorable Detective James Jimmy McNulty. He's definitely like just constantly just rubs his nose, bites his thumb at the face of authority. Could give a fuck.
That's a great one.
Dominic West. That's
Dominic
a good call.
West, baby.
Dominic West is a brilliant actor. That's a good one.
Travis, how do you feel?
I think I'm going to go with that. That makes too much sense. Dominic West is, man, his McNulty character is just an ass, arrogant, completely inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
He is indeed Michael Scott.
And anytime
He's
he
just
gets
a grittier Baltimore version of Michael Scott.
Anytime
So,
he gets, like,
I
yelled
think
at or
that's
scolded,
a perfect character.
what did I do? What's going on? Why we were friends and now we're not friends. What's the problem? Well, you just pistol whipped my son. So Wire
All right, so that moves. All right,
ahead,
anybody
Trav.
else have anything different?
No, that's a great one to start.
All right, then let's move on to, of course, Dwight Schrute.
Uh-huh.
And now we can
Dwight
go Wire
Schrute.
or Sopranos, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Dwight's actually my choice for Tony Soprano. I'm putting him in. Rainn Wilson deserves the lead. Finally, we need to put him in there. Dwight, he kept it held in, but he's the only one who's ever killed anything on The Office. He's got that trigger ability.
Toby is the Scranton Strangler.
Creed has also probably killed someone.
We're getting off. I'm sorry. I'll come in next week. We'll talk about that.
Using non-fan fiction as a fact within the series.
Creed said that he killed somebody and stole their identity. That's how he became Creed Bratton.
Okay. All right.
I'm
we'll
sorry,
do
we
that.
stepped all over.
No,
that.
no.
It's still good.
It's
still
totally good. No, but Dwight's got places to bury all these people. He can make his way through running a crime family. And we saw that in the end, he's a logistics man. The office runs most efficiently. And yes, it is a gang of thugs and misfits on the Sopranos. But at the end of the day, it's a business.
Okay.
And Dwight's going to be there, and he's going to care the most about the crime syndicate.
All right.
Over everything, which is what you have to do.
Tony doesn't give a fuck about the syndicate. He's looking out for
But
number
that's-
one. But I like where you're
yeah,
at. I like
yeah.
where you're at.
I
So
like a
as
more
the boss-
efficient version
I got
of
you.
Tony.
As the
Your
boss,
head
I got
down.
you. I got you.
Yeah.
So
I got for Dwight. I got Christopher Moltisanti, played by the
Interesting.
great Michael Imperioli. Mainly because he's so into the gang life and he's trying so hard to always prove to Tony that he belongs and that he can carry a family. Like it's just like Dwight. Dwight's always trying to prove to Michael that he is capable and he's a cool guy. That's what Moltisanti would do for like 8 seasons.
Damn, that's
It's actually meta because Moltisanti's is his sensei.
Sensei when he finally
Sensei
gets
at
his
the
black
end.
belt.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. I forgot that quickly.
Sensei Ira in
Sensei
the
Ira.
end. Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that. I like both. I went Bobby Baccalieri, also from Sopranos.
I like that.
Cause they both kind of put on this macho tough guy exterior, but inside they're both just kind of bumbling doofuses. not detracting all the
I
things
like
you guys
that.
said
That
about
actually
Dwight
works.
as being
Sure.
strategic and
Yeah.
a good businessman, but he is just a big goof at the end
Yeah,
of the day.
absolutely. Would Mose follow Dwight into the family?
Ooh.
Mose would be the.
Yes.
Mose would kill people.
He would be the guy who buries them. And
I know
not
nothing about these shows,
Mose
but
is-
Mose would murder somebody.
Moses Bubbles. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way real quick.
Perfect. Yeah.
I don't know who
Yeah,
y'all
let's
had
go ahead
as
and get that
Bubbles,
out the
but you
way
were
right
wrong
now.
because it's Mose.
Definitely Mose. Next up,
All
Trev.
right, so let's move to the great Jim Halper, played by John Krasinski, who's from the cast of The Wire, The Sopranos, is taking on Jim Halper.
I'm gonna need somebody
This
else
is
to
a
go
little bit
first. This
tougher.
is hard. This is really hard.
You need someone who's a smart ass. You need someone who's still relatively charming, the quote unquote good guy of the series.
Oh, you know what?
I think he could play bad, and I think you throw him as Omar on The Wire. Why not? You want him to do that, and then the twist of the sexuality and everything that could be he'd be an interesting one.
Okay, I'll take that. I was saying if you go Sopranos, Artie Bucco, Tony's friend, high school friend, neighbor, restaurateur.
Absolutely.
Kind of just like dances around on the outskirts. He's always got something smart or clever to say.
Right.
Finding himself in over his head with bigger players.
Very true. Yeah. Had the restaurant rocking and all that good stuff. Yeah, and that's the thing too. You know, everybody's gonna catch heat at some point. In
And I
that
could see
series.
Dwight burning down Jim's restaurant to keep.
To keep things moving. Yeah, that's a good one.
I
That makes
understand none
sense.
of these references.
Sopranos.
I'm going to go with a friend of the show, Chad Coleman, who played Cuddy in The Wire.
Cuddy.
Cuddy was an individual that was very respected, especially in the streets, but he no longer wanted to be a part of the street life. In the same fashion, towards the end of The Office, Jim no longer wanted to do paper things, and he wanted to move on with his life and start a new career. So I'm going to go with Cuddy from The Wire.
Damn, that's one of my favorite moments in television. Is still when they try to give Cuddy it's like a 9mm for his first hit after getting out of prison. He's like, "Nah, man, I need a revolver. Nine will jam on you real quick." It's just so fucking smooth. Like, you're 50 years old, dude. You've been in prison for 20 years. Like, nah, man, give me my 6-shooter. I love it. That's
And
so
my
good.
favorite Cuddy moment is when he's trying to come up with a business proposal for the boxing gym, and he knows he's going to have to go to a major drug dealer to ask for money, and he asked for 10 grand, and the drug dealer laughs in his face and goes, "Man, give this Negro 20. That's all you need."
Just slaps 20 grand into his hand.
Fantastic. Travis, what do we got next?
All right, we need one for St. Louis's own Jenna Fisher, who plays Pam Beasley.
This was also tough.
I mean, I think you got to go Sopranos. If we're going by the ages of the characters, she could actually play a daughter, technically. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Are you going
Are you
Meadow
going Meadow?
Soprano?
Yeah, I think so.
I
Let
agree.
her kind of go wild with that one. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm going Adrian LaServa,
Mm.
also of The Sopranos. She's in this kind of not menial, but the receptionist role, the hostess role at the restaurant, kind of the same. But they both have these like ideas of grander things. But it's a while before either of them really makes any effort towards it. Like Pam with the artistry, Adrian with wanting to not be
I like
a mob
that.
boss's girlfriend, I guess. Well, no, I guess Adrian did just
No,
want to
I
be a
like
mob
that.
wife, but yeah.
No, makes sense.
I went with Jamie Lynn Sigler mainly because she's a little bratty, little naive in the beginning, a little bit annoying, but over time she becomes the more, oh, I understand why you have all these issues. It's because you are in an environment that absolutely is abnormal and irrational.
Nature
So
versus nurture.
she, if you were to talk about character arcs, oddly mirrors that of Pam Beasley.
Okay, I like that.
All right. Well, that's acceptable. Got a few more, and we'll get to fair or foul. Guys, get the fair or fouls in. WAL at weareliveradio.com. Topic today, mustaches. We've got a $50
No,
gift.
your mustache.
Okay, my mustache. And we've got a $50 gift pack to give away for winners. WAL at weareliveradio.com.
All right, let's step it up a little bit. Let's go with Andy Bernard, played by, of course, the great Ed Helms.
Best
Go ahead,
character on
Sam.
the show.
I'm going back to Baltimore.
You're on crack.
Speaking of Baltimore, the war on drugs failed.
That's good. That's
no,
good.
for Andy Bernard,
Great band.
I'm taking Przybylewski. Prisbo, anybody?
Yes.
There we go.
I was
Just-
waiting for Travis. Sorry.
Just the largest dork that there's ever been.
Hey.
Has like nothing to contribute. Also should have been fired like 80. Like Andy straight up is like, I'm a terrible salesman, but I still had this job. And Przybylewski straight up knocked a kid's eye out in the second episode. Spoiler alert.
Oh, it's bad news.
Also, can we real quick talk about how in season 4 when he becomes a teacher in The Wire, not one of those kids is like, hey, didn't you knock Kevin's eye out 4 years ago? Like, how did he not get shanked his first day at that school?
That's a good question. That's a fair question.
The picture they painted of Baltimore over 4 seasons, and that doesn't happen.
I'll say I've got Andy going to The Sopranos as Christopher Moltisanti. I mean, that seems to work. Kind of bumbling, has a lot of internal struggle, wants to always be more than what he'll ever be, and has some issues with the ladies. I think it works.
We've all got different Multisanti.
You know, I don't like how you guys are describing Andy.
Do you feel like you relate to him?
One of the
Lamar?
reasons I like him so much is because I relate to him so much. So
Work on that.
I had Andy being played by Herc from The Wire.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Because, he has no business doing what he does, and yet he walks around with the confidence of someone who absolutely believes they belong. Like, you don't belong.
Why are you staring into Tommy's eyes as you say this? Like, this is
Tommy,
not
why are
even-
you crying?
Yeah, this isn't even fun
Still
anymore.
from Toy Story.
Tommy
This is
decided to
rude.
hitch his wagon to Andy Bernard, the 8th best character on the show, but okay.
Number one character.
Oh, wow.
Number one.
This is getting intense.
Let's go with Angela. Angela Kinsey, of course, played by Angela Martin.
Sam, who you got?
Johnny Sacramone.
Okay.
He's kind of like just like very no nonsense in this gang of buffoons, really, and just all about the end goal and the business and the job. And what do you guys just fucking stand around and just slap your dicks all day when you don't see what's going on around you like that? That's a Angela quote.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Johnny Sack.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
I'm glad you made that clear.
That's
I'm going
very
with
good.
Olivia Soprano, Tony's mom.
Oh, all right.
Playing old.
She
okay.
was a bitch. She tried to murder
Stone
her son.
cold.
Is that
They
the
had
most
to-
Angela thing
Twice
ever?
she
Trying
tried
to murder
to.
your son?
I know it's probably been talked about, but was it planned to kill her? Like, it was it was a grinding halt when she would be on the screen, and I think they killed her because people couldn't stand her on the screen.
No, they killed her because the
She
actress
was
died.
evil.
Oh, that was
She
what it was?
No,
Okay.
season 3 was supposed to be her actually going state's witness and testifying against
okay.
Tony.
And the actress
And
did
then
pass away.
that's why in her last scene, where she's like just sitting on the chair with the blanket covered, it's very bad.
Yeah.
Like it's like post edited CGI, whatever the word is. So what they did with Paul Walker.
It's been a long... When he drove into heaven.
Yes, exactly.
He actually drove into heaven.
We probably won't get to all the characters, but let's get to the
Let's do one more and then
ones.
fair or foul.
We got to do Creed. Brad. Who is Creed from those shows?
Creed. I'm gonna go with it. What's son of a gun? I can't think. He looks like he's gonna be Junior. He'll be
Yes,
Junior
yes.
Soprano. Why not? He used to be a stone cold killer. Still will pull some wacky stuff, but there's also dementia creeping in. So I think Creed is Junior Soprano.
I like that. I just want to just drop this because we all had different Moltisanti answers.
Yeah.
I had Ryan Howard as Chris Moltisanti.
Ooh, yeah, that's good too.
And then I had Phyllis
I like
as
that.
Janice Soprano.
I like that one.
Okay.
I'm going. Creed is played by Bubbles. There's no doubt that Creed is Bubbles to me.
Okay.
Andre Rojo, a great actor. But yeah, because the reason being because you have to sit back and ask, how the hell have you survived all of this? And so that's the first thing you ask when you see Bubbles. That's the first thing you ask when you see Creed. Like, how did you make it through all the seasons? But he did.
All right.
All right.
Lightning, real quick. Quick answers. Robert California.
Idris Elba. That is
Pauly.
definitely
Pauly, yes. Robert California
Yeah.
is Pauly.
Pauly.
Okay.
Why not?
Charles Minor.
Stringer Bell. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's true to form. It's canon.
Yeah, good.
I thought you might switch it up with Charles Minor.
We had
I'm going to say Ellie Kemper is, we'll do Ellie Kemper as Christopher Moltisanti's Adriana.
Who's Kevin?
Herc.
Okay.
There
Herc
it
is
is.
Kevin.
That's been recasting
And
call.
Holly is B.D. Russell.
There it is.
I got a quick question. As somebody
What is The Wire?
Well, that's kind of
You
the
are
question.
you are Pete Holmes.
That's kind of the
You
question.
are Pete Holmes.
Who's the other Wire character that also appeared on The Office?
That was B.D. Russell, Holly.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear you say that. My fault.
I haven't seen The Sopranos or The Wire.
It shows.
Which one should I start with?
Sopranos.
Sopranos. All right.
Oh wow! I thought Travis and Sam would team together and say The Wire, dumbass, and then I would have to
The
do
Wire's
thing.
like real gritty though. I think
Yeah.
if you haven't seen either,
I like gritty.
Sopranos is a good like
Sopranos
raise your way
starts
in.
as like a goofy, weird, like kind of
family
comedy
drama
yeah.
about
It's
Ba-dum,
strange
ba-dum,
with the
bum,
machine guns, and it's just it was just a farce a little bit. I don't know. It's pretty
And
crazy.
then does it
I
get
want
dark?
to look
It gets
hard
real
enough,
dark.
but I feel like there's a cast member that's been on all three of these shows.
Let me Google.
I don't think there is, but I feel like there should be.
Has Idris Elba been in Sopranos? Because
No.
Omar was in Sopranos.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
That's who.
Wait, Omar
They
was on
hired
Sopranos?
Yeah, that's who Jackie Jr. hides out with.
Okay.
After the robbery.
Well, there you go, guys. That's
Yeah, I
been
don't think-
recasting call. I'll take a quick second to thank Tech Electronics, our friend Tommy Bannister of Circuit Properties. He is your realtor in St. Louis. You can use Circuit Properties. They were just awarded a very, very high honor. You can check out and learn all about that on Circuit Properties Facebook page. But if you're looking for a home to buy or sell in the St. Louis area, hit up Tommy Bannister today. He's been here in St. Louis for a very long time, can help you out with all your St. Louis home buying or selling needs. Do you want to do some fair or foul, Travis? We'll do old school. We'll give a $50 prize pack away. We've got my mustache as the topic. Hit it, Trav.
It is time for the People's Fair or Foul.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul? Is it a segment? Is it a movement? Is it hope? I can't say for certain. Time will be a true test of its power. But I can say, fair or foul is now and forever for the people. Gather around the radio with your loved ones and hold on to your butts. It's now time for fair
We give it back to you, the people.
or foul.
Shout out to Chris Denman. You got the article you've been waiting for, currently in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Winning the Stanley Cup proves to be boon for Blues and St. Louis businesses.
Sam, that looks like the Pulp Fiction logo, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. They told me I was crazy yesterday.
I did not.
I mean, no, it doesn't look anything like it.
I told you I did not take inspiration.
But it does look like it.
Okay, that's not what I said. You just straight up lied.
Beat his ass, Gardner.
Oh my God, the
Yeah,
things you
Gardner.
care about.
Don't try and
Gardner
use
kicked his
See if I
ass.
buy you food at a food truck again.
I bought you a pizza buffet.
Oh no,
Go,
no,
go,
no! We are
go,
not doing
Okay.
personal
go.
finances on the air. Oh my God!
I'm poor. My
What's up?
cash tag is Wu-Tang Sammy if anybody wants to send me money.
I give you a Dr. Pepper.
Oh
Oh,
no,
boy.
it's gotten out of hand. Guys, stick around after Fair or Foul.
I'm
We're gonna
actually
go,
annoyed.
We're gonna go one-on-one with myself and Miss Pat, and you guys can tune in for that. She's absolutely delightful, and she's here at Healing Comedy Club all weekend long. We have several to get to, and that'll happen when you rock out a $50 prize pack like we're giving away. Topic was mustaches or my mustache. Here we go. You are rocking the porn stash, Chris. All we need is the 70s music, and you could give John Holmes a run for his money. Oh, thank you.
Bow,
SW.
bow,
Uh,
bow, chicka, bow.
Mustaches. Fair. Mustache rides are awesome. Flavor savers. Keep upper lip warm. Debonair. Camaraderie with other stash men. Aviator sunglasses and a mustache make the man. Chris looks like the creepy guy driving a van that says free candy and has no windows. And then there's a Yankee candle that has Ron
Ooh.
Jeremy's mustache as the fragrance as well. I believe that's from Lisa.
Oh,
That makes
so
sense.
that was kind of all over the place.
I have
That makes.
We'll take
I
it.
could tell.
We'll take it.
a Yankee candle at home.
Fair, if I can ride them. Foul, if they're asking if I want candy. It's from Cankle.
Mm.
Candy thing's an easy thing to go to. I think you more likely want to be an ice cream man.
Yeah, with a little hat. Yeah. Fair, Chris can now buy cigs and beers for the kids he wants to impress by the QT. I mean, he could do that before, but the mustache makes it seem less sad.
You look like somebody who would hire Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yep. To catch my son.
Doing that now? After his
Oh
wife
man,
died?
damn!
Come on,
he just
Tommy.
lost his lady. Damn,
Yeah,
he
he
just
needs
lost
the
his
money.
wife.
Come on. Who was that from?
Tom Brown.
Okay.
From next one. Fair. Evidence, Your Honor. Number 1, Burt Reynolds. Number 2, Tom Selleck. Number 3, B. Arthur. That's from TT's. Pink eye.
That's good.
This one from Jamie
That's really
Moyer's
good.
Fancy Foyer.
Misdirection.
Love Chris's stash. If it were a tech company, it would be called Incel Inside.
That's good.
Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer.
You're not wrong.
That'll do it for Fair or Foul submissions. Who's getting a $50 gift pack? Gardner, start him off with the voting.
I just realized you look like Ben Stiller and the Happy Gilmore. In
Well,
the
now
nursing
your back's
home.
going to be hurting because you just
Yeah.
scored landscaping duty. He's got the blue shirt on, too, I feel like.
I'm going
white.
with Fancy Foyer.
Fancy Foyer gets a vote. Sam.
Well, you look like Zach Galifianakis' brother in Live at the Purple Onion. And I'm going to go with Tom Brown.
Tom Brown. I'm going with TT's pink eye with the Burt Reynolds reference. Tommy.
You look like every guy who hit on my mom at a bars. Tom Brown.
Tom Brown with a vote. Travis Terrell, who you got?
I'm going with Jamie Moyer, Fancy Foyer.
Tom Brown and Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer have tied. We can do a tiebreaker next time, or we can just split the prize. Gardner, you're the arbiter.
Let's do tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Who do you got?
I got Tom Brown. You got Fancy Foyer.
Okay.
All right.
One time.
One
Is it
time.
On
is it
three.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3, go.
shoot? Okay.
One,
All
two,
right.
three, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2,
3, shoot. Who was I?
Oh, that's
Tom Brown.
Hey.
Tom Brown, everybody.
Who was
Tom
I?
Brown wins a $50 gift pack.
Who was I?
Congratulations. Thank you to
By the
everybody
way,
for doing
Duke Kaboom looks just like Chris.
it. Perfect. Guys, we're going to take a break. We're still going to be on here. Catch Sam tomorrow night at Apotheosis Comics. Follow Travis on his Twitter that he loves when people request, @Black to the Future. And big thanks to everybody for tuning in. Be sure you're subscribed and reviewed on iTunes for us. Stick around. I'm going to do a one-on-one with Miss Pat, who's at Helium Comedy Club all weekend long. Goodbye, everybody.
Peace.